Good morning. Welcome back to everybody in YouTube land and over the internet to computer machines. It's John Pettipas making a recording at 20 minutes past 10 o'clock in the morning on Friday morning, which is the 7th day of August 2020. And I can sincerely tell you, never in my wildest dreams after a month ago in this very studio making a Nova Scotia's future and Stephen McNeil video did I ever think, not even a month later, 4 weeks later, I'd be making one on Premier Stephen McNeil's farewell to Nova Scotia. I was shocked, but it's a gentleman's decision. He served in public office now for 17 years, since 2003, first as MLA for the great riding of Annapolis Royal, beautiful Annapolis Valley and the Bay of Fundy, as our opposition leader and third place party, brought his Liberal Party Nova Scotia in the second place as official opposition leader, and then as Premier, elected by the people in October of 2013, and re-elected in May of 2017. The first Liberal Premier of Nova Scotia since the great saintly Angus L. MacDonald to win not one, but two back-to-back majority governments. Gerald Regan did have two governments, 2 terms in office, but he started out as a strong minority in one subsequent to that one by-elections, brought him up to majority government status in 1970. 74 took and won an outright mandate, majority from the people, and then of course people took power away in September of 1978, that fateful day. So anyway, Premier Stephen McNeil, quite the gentleman, and he served his province very well. This is not a partisan statement. It's proven without question. Most fair-minded people agree that Premier Stephen McNeil has served us as residents, our beloved province of Nova Scotia, very well, with grace and dignity, and ran a clean government, unlike some governments we've had before. And as I said in my previous video on him just 4 weeks ago, is everything perfect? Of course not. But if he wasn't there, things would be a hell of a lot worse. Hey, and I'll use example from the paper yesterday. I'll put up this here. Tory parties putting out a PC Party of Nova Scotia, Tories, whatever you want to call them, are putting out a proposal to spend $465 million on, it says, injection into long-term care. Well, a time in some people's life, nursing home is necessary. Probably necessary problems is maybe necessary for some people. But most people do not leave to heaven. They leave planet Earth from a nursing home. That's a fact. Remember, a very good priest said that in a homily one day. Most people still live out their earthly lives in their own home. That is a fact. Okay? We need more home care. LPNs, they're wonderful, licensed practical nurses. And the homemakers, bless their hearts, can't forget the homemakers. They are fantastic. Go in, see medications being taken on a regular basis, do a bit of cooking, some light housekeeping, companionship, stuff like that. Wonderful. You're keeping people in their homes. You can keep 5, 8, 10 people. 5, 8, 10 people in their home for a long time, for a full year, for the cost of keeping one person in this so-called long-term care. Okay? It's a very expensive way to look after people. And if you visit as many people as I do in nursing homes, the people in their own home are much more happier. There's a nursing home not far from here, something called a manor. And so the people there have a choice of getting their meals from the kitchen or cooking their own. And they're all in their 90s. One lady's going to be 100 next month. Lady's 93 next month. Gentleman just down the apartment from her is 97, I believe. 97 or 98 his next birthday. Couple across the road, across the hallway. He's in his almost mid-90s. His wife just celebrated her 90th birthday back in the spring. And they're happy. They have control over life. So I don't buy this crap. And I'm going to be direct this morning. I'm going to be personal, okay? I don't trust Tim Houston. My personal opinion, I find him slimy, sleazy. My personal opinion, I do not trust Tim Houston. I look at, and you know what reason I say that? biggest reason, in my opinion, to say that, how he treats and treated his own members. Mother of God, when you have Alfie MacLeod, or you have Eddie Oriel, or you have Chris D'Entremont, any party be glad to have those ones. Anyway, my videos go on too long sometime. It's Premier Stephen McNeil, farewell to Nova Scotia. He's going to stay on until the Liberal Party puts the convention together and candidates come forward. Hopefully there'll be men and women of good quality and worthy to offer for the leadership of the party. And their party, Liberal Party of Nova Scotia, and certainly worthy to offer for inheriting the premiership in Nova Scotia until such time as the provincial election is called. But Steve McNeil has just been a wonderful... Is he right in everything? Of course not. I think his decision on the Pictou County pulp mill was wrong, and I told him so. I was not pleased with that. Not one damn bit. And every MLA I got within ear's reach of knows what John Pettipas thinks of the decision. It was bad stuff. But we look at Houston Boy. Did he have the part of his genitalia that showed some backbone? No, he didn't. Well, he couldn't say this. Well, it's like an old sly fox at one time. Some of my friends are for it. Some of my friends are against it. Then he stood up in legislature and said, and I'm with my friends. So, bunch of political word gobbledygook. He didn't have any backbone, Tim Houston. I'm naming my name. The official opposition leader in this province had no backbone to stand up for the contractors and the woods workers and the fellas in the chain link fenced area and the people that benefit from that mill. Didn't have any backbone. Not one iota. So when I say I personally find him sleazy and slimy, and I don't trust him. And I've always been that way. If I don't trust somebody, well, you're written off in my book. I don't care if you're Liberal, Tory, NDP, Republican, Democrat, whatever, Green, Rhinoceros Party. Okay, if the character's not there, you can't do much. Anyway, back to Steve McNeil. He lives in the house that he was born in. Probably born in a hospital, conceived in the house in Upper Granville. He lives in the home that he was born in. 17 kids, his late father and his late mother. Teresa, I think I mentioned this before in a previous video, come in the store with her son in February of 2007. He was offering for Liberal leader. And he was subsequent to that, he was successful that May of April or May of getting the Liberal leadership. And it was a wise decision. He had a character, backbone in him. And did he please everybody? No. At times the teachers were pissed at him. But then I've had a lot of Tories, including local area, tell me, I'll vote for him. He stood up. Somebody had, there's a limit to what we can pay. Then it was the nurses were pissed with him. And lately now we have $500 million less tax revenue come in the last fiscal year update because of this coronavirus stuff and pandemic, whatever you want to call it. Germ warfare, biological warfare, whatever, that coronavirus we call it. And popular lingo, and $450 million more expense, so what looked like a slight surplus is now about a $900 million deficit. And the Premier less than a week ago, the last 6 or 7 days, said, well, I hope the public servants in this province aren't expecting big raises next number of years. We got to get back on track. So I'm shocked with what happened. I think we're all in a bit of shock, but I want to pay tribute. His lovely wife, Andrea. I had the opportunity, privilege to meet Andrea one time. Premier McNeil, of course, his mother is the Cape Bretoner. And so he has no wonder he's good. Personality and common sense. He's half Cape Bretoner in rural Nova Scotia. And there's nobody I love more than rural Cape Bretoners than people in rural and small town Nova Scotia. Just their #1 salted in my book. So his lovely wife, Andrea, I met, they were coming back from their son's graduation at the campus of Nova Scotia Community College. Jeffrey. Their daughter Colleen was with them. She served as a page in the legislature. Wonderful people, lovely people. Don't take us as a premier's wife, but she very sincere, down-to-earth lady. And I think so. We don't talk enough about the political wives. Okay, occasionally it's political husband. We had, remember, Eleanor Norrie come in. I love forestry, and I'd never say it to somebody's wife, but I said it. Eleanor was in office one evening going to Liberal meeting in Sydney back in the 90s. It was, I think, 1996, 97. Some years in Halifax, some years in Sydney. It's a long ways drive to Sydney, Cape Breton, Industrial Cape Breton, Halifax. So anyway, it must have been 20, 25 minutes went on off with Eleanor, Honourable Eleanor. She's Minister of Natural Resources, Lands and Forested. And I said, let's go out now and say hello to your husband, Rob. Make the political husband feel important. And I gave him a copy of the Globe and Mail and some apples, a bag, or ice cream. Going on, thanks, John, how you doing? And gave me a nice donation for Terry Fox campaign. But great people. But anyway, we don't speak enough of political wives. They go through a lot. And she served our province as the First Lady of our province with grace and dignity. And so Premier McNeil's been in for 17 years. She's been in for 17 years. And those children, sometimes you phone up, and I remember after her mother's mother, her grandmother died, she Colleen answered the phone herself. And so they take the wonderful people, down-to-earth cats, and so anyway, God said, the fate says, when God closes one door, he opens another door. So we wish the Premier well. That served, in my opinion, very well. Was he right in everything? Of course not. Did he please me in every decision? Of course not. But we could look at the greater good, the overall package. With that, I'm over the 10-minute mark already. I ask you, this impromptu video this morning, I ask you to spread the word over that internet, the computer machines, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, of course, our beloved YouTube, YT, YouTube. Used to be yours truly. You make a letter quickly. Yours truly, but now for me, YT stands for YouTube. Love that stuff. Anyway, I want to thank you all for viewing. It is not a commentator. It's not a comment you make or an inquiry or a view that's not appreciated. And I thank new subscribers. We picked up a number of new subscribers this week. I want to thank those people subscribing and the people that have subscribed since early days. We're coming up to the first anniversary on YouTube actually in a few weeks' time, so about 11.5-month mark, and we're making progress, I think. So anyway, in my opinion, humble opinion, but I couldn't do a darn thing. It wasn't for you. You, the viewers. When I say YouTube, it's you. It's not me tube, it's YouTube. So until next time, this is John Pettipas, thanking you all very much, wishing you all the best, and God bless. Thank you. Spread the word in this video. Good morning to you all. Bye for now.